What a wonderful time this year, this season. We're down in Phoenix with family and really enjoying our time together. The scripture I picked this morning is from Matthew chapter 7 and starts with verse 7. It says, "Ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be opened." Or what man is there of you whom if his son ask bread, shall give him a stone? Or it is he who has fish will be given a serpent. If you then, being evil, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore all things, whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do you even so unto them. For this is the law of the prophets. Asking, receiving, getting something from God is what we consider this Thanksgiving season about. We turn and we ask God of what we need. Because you have kept my commandments, it says in Revelation chapter 3. My commandment to persevere. I will keep you from the hour of trial that shall come upon the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth. It's important that we understand these concepts because the world is quickly winding down into an area where we are close to the coming of the Lord. It says, perseverance is critical to success. This day in which we live, we find ourselves having to persevere each day to ask of God and to seek of God what we have need of, because we're tested in everything that we do. So it is with the kingdom of God. We are tested. And so we ask of God. To refuse to struggle is to refuse to stand up. Struggling means just basically putting effort into each day, into each movement. To persevere is the key to understanding the text that we just read here. Ask, it says, ask, which means to keep on asking. Seek, which means to keep on seeking. Knock, which means to keep on knocking, which means keep on keeping on. The Lord would have us to keep on keeping on. The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, it says. That violence is the act of God, the act of strength to break every obstacle and to bring you the answer. It is important that we understand this. Most Christians know and have been taught to receive from God, we must speak the word. We must believe it in our heart if we're asking from God. And then we will receive what we're asking for. All of this is true, but it lacks one thing because it neglects the law of perseverance. God slowly yields good things to those who persevere. Because we ask, sometimes we want everything we ask for immediately. Remember reading from the book of Job. He was a man who received from God good things. He had it all. And then the devil comes along and tries to take it all away. And he's reduced to a man without anything. Even his reputation is destroyed. Because the devil knew he would persevere, but Job didn't. He just had to go through it. He went through the life struggle like Job went to. There's an area of just waiting like Abraham did on God. You remember that Israel waited 70 years after being taken into captivity to be delivered. Wasn't delivered before that. It was the 70 years full that the people endured. There's a parable in Luke chapter 18. It talks about a woman who just persevered and trusted God and received the answer. We need those answers in our life. This widow's trouble was her lack of having. She needed something from God. When people get down so they're just struggling, and they need something from God, we just have to keep on until God answers. In Acts chapter 14, verse 21 and 22, it says this: "And when he had preached the gospel in that city and made many disciples, they returned to Lystra and Iconium and Antioch, strengthening, exhorting them to continue in the faith, and saying, we must through many tribulations enter the kingdom." This comes on the heel of being stoned of his very life, and yet he kept on. We need to keep on. Remember that we have an adversary who is unrelenting in his efforts to discourage us, to trip us up, to cause us to doubt, to make us feel unworthy. He works on us constantly. That's why we need to turn to the Lord for our constant need, because he takes care of us, so that we grow discouraged sometimes. As we turn to God, we get our encouragement. This Thanksgiving season is a time to turn to God for your encouragement. For God is able to help you just to maintain your life and to keep you strong and keep you working for the kingdom. So if we grow discouraged, the principles of the kingdom cease to function in our life. We run from our problems, we have no answer and we have no victory. Because we run, we fail. We don't want to fail in this life in which we live. 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." God has given His sound mind to us, and He wants us to continue on working for the kingdom of God. Be careful in your life.